How's it poppin', Blade Operative? This is Jedi Knight Thomas Skywalker 11. My job as a curator is studying the behavior, habitat, and biology of the creatures and aliens of planet Miran. This is a mission briefing of my findings. Miran Pokedex Entry 4, The Lore of Grexes. The Grex is a canine species most similar to wolves, but also having a resemblance to lizards. They have 4 clawed feet, 4 eyes with 2 facing forward and 2 outward, tails covered in underside spikes out to the tip, and a reflective armor shell lining the head and spine. The name Grex is Latin for group or flock, named as such for their wolf-like pack behavior. For their habitat, they can be found on just the continents of Primordia and Oblivia, roaming across the open plains and ridgelands, often in large groups. They're most numerous in the grasslands of Primordia, such as Genpath Plain, Grieving Plains, and around the Beast Layer. A similar species, the Caro, is present in the other regions and will be covered in a separate Pokedex entry. Grexes will attack ground operatives on sight, but are docile towards skells. As pack animals, they often have kindred aggro, meaning that being spotted by or attacking one will trigger aggro for any members of the same species nearby. Keep this in mind whenever dealing with a Grex when there's more than one in the area. Their diet is carnivorous, hunting all manner of other indigens. Here in North Genpath Plain, we observe a bush Grex scarfing down a suid, which are common prey due to their numbers and ease of hunting. Grexes are often observed digging to bury smaller prey to store it until their hunting is complete to return to the pack with. Packs are led by an alpha pair and often size around 10 to 15 in number, but some smaller groups have been identified, such as beneath the Gemini Bridges in Primordia. Likely the result of a lone finding a mate and starting their own pack. They are highly territorial, with larger packs holding entire plains. They will viciously defend against any encroachment from non-pack members. Lone Grexes are most often the result of duels for leadership, with the loser being ousted from the pack. These lone specimens will act desperate due to starvation. For preparedness against them, here is their combat information. As Theroid-type monsters, they have a large weakness to thermal attacks and a smaller weakness to ether attacks. They have no resistances aside from tyrants having +5 resistance to each attribute compared to standard varieties. The species uses the following attacks: Bite, a melee physical art; Roar, area of effect ranged physical that inflicts slow arts; Guard, a buff that reduces damage taken for the duration of the art; Puke, a ranged ether attack; Invisibility, an evasion up buff that can be disabled by breaking the headplate appendage; Wind Tackle, a melee physical attack that can be disabled by breaking the exposed head appendage after first breaking the headplate; Thunder Spear, melee electric art that inflicts fatigue; and Sky Charge, a high-powered area of effect melee electric art that launches foot soldiers and inflicts knockback to skells. Both of these electric arts can be disabled by breaking the tail appendage. There are 2 Grex color varieties: Smooth white armored with brown bodies, found in Primordia, and Horned bronze armored with red bodies, found in Oblivia. I'd also just like to point out how funny these things look with the head exposed.
I'm untouchable! Now, open fire!
2 Tyrant Alpha specimens of Grex have been identified, one of each variety and region. They are Celedonio, the battle-tested. Found at the north edge of Keegan Ridge in Oblivia, Celedonio is an alpha of the Ridgelands territory here. An experienced leader that has fought off many challengers for his position and threats to the pack. During the daytime, he puts up with the annoyance of a berserk Vigent that's attracted to the lingering scent of the pack's previous night's prey. But as it never has anything to actually steal, and Celedonio has enough experience to know a fight against a larger foe isn't worth it, he leaves it be. Preferring to spend his days watching over his packmates of hunter Grexes lower down the ridge as they gather food to bring back to Celedonio and the den. The other tyrant? Dieter, the Epicure. Found roaming just above the beast layer in Primordia, sometimes resting on the cliff prominence. Dieter is alpha of the largest known Grex pack on Mira, and physically the largest member of his species we've observed. His pack of lawless Grexes numbering in the dozens and making their den in the large beast layer cave have come to control such a bountiful area with prey of Potamus, Terebra, and Lepix that they've become extremely bold and gluttonous, expanding their territory to encompass the areas of Talon Rock's second terrain, Sayram Lake, and Sayram Northeast Plain, pushing back weaker packs and bringing even more and more food to their leader Dieter, who's strong enough to neutralize resistance. He has grown exceptionally large from the excess of prey. We are unsure if the group of lawless Grexes above North Point Beach are part of this same pack or their own separate one, possibly an offshoot started by members of the Dieter pack that ventured off to claim their own territory. Regardless, due to his pack growing so big and having many new young to feed, Dieter has begun to consume less and save more prey for the rest of his pack, which appears to be quite difficult as he is especially fond of eating. This personal struggle of going on a diet, despite his love of food, is the biggest challenge that he has ever faced as one of the most powerful members of his species on the planet.
Yes! Now take the fight out of it!
Additionally, their den is also home to the Sphinx Dervin the Perceptive, but we will cover him and his relation to the Dieter pack in a later report as more observation is needed at this time.
Unbelievable.
And lastly, I would just like to emphasize, no matter how much you loved canines back on Earth, like Earth wolves, Grexes in their current state do not make good pets. Please leave this to our research team working with the prone on indigent domestication. Jerry attempted it on his own on a Grex last week, and it didn't go so well. May he rest in peace.
We need to learn to play nice with these guys if we're going to try and coexist together.
But that concludes this briefing. If you have anything to add on the Grex species, Celedonio, or Dieter, please leave your report in the comments. Also let me know if there's a species you want to see covered and I'll add them to the list of research priorities. To see the previous briefings on other species and their tyrants, or to see lore on unique monsters in the numbered Xenoblade trilogy, go to the Xeno lore playlist on your left.